Right, just back on this beast again, which has had some pretty good quality repairs done on it. So lovely and solid on the wing mounts. So it's not brilliant, but as Amazons go, it's fairly tidy. Now this did not go when first obtained, and I'll just run through all the things that were needed to make it run, because it sort of gives an example of how to deal with this with any old Amazon. So first of all, it had a 0 petrol and the gauge was sort of only partly fitted. Got some screws, the gasket was alright, screwed it back in, chucked a bit of diesel in to sort of slosh around in the tank, clear things up. The petrol cap was hopelessly loose and in fact fell off. Just quickly got hold of another, not very good, but sealing petrol cap, got that back on, chucked a couple of gallons of fuel in, and that's made that bit happy. Up at this end, it has, well, it had rather, a pair of B20 SUs, the ones with the very nice spindle-mounted return spring. Right, both of them, however, were damaged as hell. The jets broke off, adjuster screws missing. It was they were in a horrible mess. But I just sort of fitted some bits and bobs from old ones kicking around, and I've got it a pair of working and not leaking carburetors now. There were loads of fuel leaks and the pipes looked horrible, so put all new pipes on. The pump was leaking fuel out of it, and I don't think it worked very particularly well either. So actually borrowed another pump, actually one from the engine that I bought separately, not from that car. Right, so that's got all the fuel print system sorted. Put an inline filter in that I had kicking around, but it doesn't seem to have picked up much dirt at all. It seems nice and clean inside. Might have expected there to be an issue with the ignition switch, but somebody has given it one of these new Brookhouse lock barrels, and yeah, that works absolutely fine. No worries there. Now, some of the slightly cleverer bits. This had a weird distributor. I don't know what it was off, but it's not off an Amazon. Right, and had to pull out the distributor drive, turn it around to the right position, and then I've stuck back in a B18B distributor that I had kicking around. It was one I took off the Scruffy estate, and that is now okay. However, the part that was definitely in trouble, I don't know if you can see it, the ignition coil, it is cracked along the top. I've had that happen on several of them, and I know that can cause issues, especially when they overheat. So what I've done with this is a little trick I've done on a couple of cars. As you know, there's an armoured cable to the ignition coil, and so the quick solution of just wiring up another coil to, an ignition live circuit ain't going to work, because when you spin the engine around on the key, everything switches off except for the armoured cable supply to the coil. So the trick I have done employs a coil that I've got kicking around, and ditto a relay that I've got kicking around as well. Sorry about that. Yeah, coil I've got kicking around and relay. Now, the details are fairly obvious, but what I do is I wire the relay positive. The relay positive gets connected straight to the battery or somewhere else that's got a nice hefty voltage, and then the feed out of the relay goes into the new coil, plus side, and then out of the new coil and down to the distributor. Right, the clever trick is that you have the coil is simply earthed. There's an earth, sorry, the relay is earthed through there, and then the positive that feeds the relay you take from your original output wire on the coil. Now that becomes live when the ignition is live, right? But of course it's no longer ignition. Now it just energizes my new little relay, and so when my old coil would have been switched on, the relay clicks and it switches on the new coil. So I have my new coil working exactly the way the old one would have done. It's got a nice healthy 12 volt supply, and the original coil is no longer producing sparks because it only this wire is only on and off when you switch the ignition on and off, so it's no longer working as a coil. It's just a power supply for the relay which operates the new coil, and you get wonderful hefty big spark. This is a 12-volt coil, and the car starts and runs absolutely fine now. So that's a little trick to use if you've got a bad coil and you haven't yet had the time to either rewire the thing or get another coil, which are expensive. But that works a treat, and if this is going to go on any longer, I'll maybe strap it on nicely and make something reasonably neat. But you can put a new coil on and have it work exactly the way that coil should work. It switches off when you switch the ignition off. All power goes off except to the coil and starter motor when you're starting. So, little trick, it works. And it's going to get a bit cold now, but I'm going to carry on. I'm going to try and take this bumper off because there's stuff about it I don't like.